As everyone has joined, or we have to wait for anyone? We'll just wait for 2 more minutes to join.
Sure.
Let's get started. A little time in between noise. So it's like as I told you yesterday, like we can have a 30-day trial version that can be created for our hands-on purpose in the Dynamics 365 cloud environment. So I'll just show you from there. You have to create the 30-day trial. Only for cloud environment we can create a trial because that is available, accessible for everyone. For on-premise and IFT deployments, we can't have the trial versions because those are specific to each organization. They need to maintain their servers and work. So if you want the trial version, that should be in the cloud environment. Any other deployment models cannot have the trial versions. So yeah. With respect to the functionality wise and other things, there won't be any difference. Only it's like the way we access the application only differs. So let me show you, like from there we have to create the trial version so that every one of you can create your respective trial versions and then you can start hands-on from the day-to-day perspective. Yeah. One thing is like here it will not allow our personal emails, okay, like Gmail, Hotmail, those things it will not accept here. We need to use our company email only. Okay, so So as I said before, there are different modules within the Dynamics 365 customer engagement, right? What we are talking about as part of this training, we will be discussing on the customer engagement part. Within the customer engagement, as I told you before, it's like there are different sub modules will be there, like sales and the service. Within the service, like there is a customer service, field service. Yeah, remote assistant. These are the three sub-modules within the customer service, within the services module, and there is a marketing module. So these are the total modules under the customer engagement. These are the kind of functional modules. But technically, like for every module, the implementation extensions part is same. But functionally, there will be respect to some business terminologies and business functionalities will be there. So we can create a trial for any of these modules, either for service, sales, or marketing. So in this process of our customer engagement, it's like so any business, it will start with marketing, right? First, they need to do the marketing for the products or services. Then only it goes for the sales. So, and then finally, after the sale happens, the service will start. Like the warranty will start in between the warranty. If they face any kind of issues, this company will service the customer. So that's how the flow will work, right? So that's the reason we just start with the marketing thing, and then we can go with the other modules. Okay. So if you see here, if we click on that, it's like it will ask for enter your work or school email ID. Okay, we need to use our email address here. So for me, actually, I tried logging in, but it seems I have logged in long back. So it seems I need to log in with the same credentials. Okay, I'll set up that my login. Maybe in the next session I can show you within the screen. Now it is not allowing me to log in. So for your understanding and for your creation purpose, I'm showing you from where you need to go and create your trial version. So here you can give your uh, the, the company email address, and you can start creating it. It will ask few more details in the next screen, like the registration details and all. Once you provide that, finally it will set up a trial version for you. Okay. If you face any challenge, technically you can ask in the tomorrow's session, so that we can get it clarified about trial version creation. Yeah. So this is about the trial version creation. This is a 30-day trial for marketing. So while creating the trial version itself, if it shows you can create for multiple modules, you select all multiple modules also. I don't know that earlier it used to show all the modules while creating the trial itself. Within the trial, multiple modules, once allowing the select like so that once you log in, you can able to see all the modules, not only the say, marketing module. You will see all the modules within the Dynamics area. Yeah, this is about the 30-day trial creation process. So yeah, yes, I couldn't able to log into this environment directly. I'll start with the data types. Okay, as I told you yesterday, just like any other database database relationship management systems, even Dynamics 365. This is a Microsoft product, right? Backend it will be like SQL Server database will be there for this data for this product. and all the data will get stored in the SQL server. Yes, of course, but for the cloud environment, we cannot access the database. So we can access only the application URL. All the operations we can do from only from the user interface only, application user interface. We do not have the access to the database. Okay, but if it is on-premise environment, yeah, we have the all the server access, even the database server access also we have, so that we can go and access the DB. And the one thing we have to keep it in mind is like within the Dynamics 365 database, we at any point of time we should not perform any kind of operations directly on the database. Okay, if we take any of the table or any of the field, we should not modify anything directly on the database by writing our SQL queries like update queries, delete queries, or create queries. Like we should not write any queries directly on the database, because that is the product was designed using some kind of basic structure. We should not disturb the structure. If you do that any kind of operation, the application will get corrupted. Okay, so even from Microsoft also, that is not at all a suggestible approach. Okay, if we wanted to do any kind of updates and all from that, like Microsoft will provide their services. Okay, their SOAP endpoints, REST and SOAP endpoints. So that means there are some web services. Okay, that will be exposed by the Microsoft Dynamics 365. So by using that web services only, we need to perform any kind of operations on the database. It's like either through SOAP endpoints or through REST endpoints. Okay, so that will be provided by Microsoft. Definitely during our training session, we will see like how we need to use what services to perform the fraud operations on the database. Okay, only for the reporting purpose, it's like there are some certain views will be available on the CRM database, so that we can access that views. That is only for the on-premise environment. Like there are views, so we can access that views and build the reports. I told you, right? It's like we can build a standalone reports using the SSRS. It's like we can fetch the data from different entities by writing our own queries, maybe by doing the joins and all from multiple tables. We can build the reports, and then we can integrate with the CRM. During that time, we can write the queries by our own, but that is not to directly on the tables, so we have to write only on the views. Okay, we'll call it as filtered views, because why we are calling it as filtered views means within the Dynamics 365 database, as I told you yesterday, there is a security layer will be there. On top of the database, there is a security layer. What does that mean by security layer? Is like based on the logged in user access. If admin logins, if admin having all the privileges, he or she should be able to see all the information within the application. But if some specific user login, let's suppose it belongs to marketing or sales, only that particular data belongs to that user only can able to see. So for that, it will be like the security layer will help out. So within the database as well, that is the reason we have the filtered views. That filtered views, if you do the querying using the filtered views by logging into database with our login, only we can able to see the data that is belongs to us, not others. We cannot fetch the data for everyone using our ID while querying from the database. We can able to see the data only belongs to us. Let me show you. Let's start with the data types. Okay, so for any database, we have a different data types will be there, right? Like for SQL server, we have a string data type or datetime data type. like that we have decimal, floating point, like that there are different data type fields there. So within the CRM as well, there are such kind of data types will be there. So by creating the fields or something, we cannot directly go and create directly in the database. So we have to do everything from the application interface itself. Within the application itself, they will provide the provision to create the fields and the tables. So from there only we have to create. So first let's discuss with what are all the different fields and field types will be there within the CRM application. Okay. While working on the data, these are the types will be there. So any type of data which we want to store within the CRM, we need to store using any of these data types only. Means it will satisfy all the data types, whatever any other regular RDBMS will support. This supports more or less all the data types here as well. Yeah. And within the we'll discuss about this calculated fields and roll-up fields later, because these are bit advanced types. Okay, so if we see it here, it's a single line of text. This is a text field. Okay, so this field contains up to 4,000 characters it will support, and maximum length less than the field of several format options that will change the presentation for the text. Okay. So it's like this is a kind of text field. It will allow up to maximum 4,000 lines of text. Okay. For example, if we take the name field, if we want to create any kind of field for the name purpose, so we have to go with generally single line of text. Okay. So if it is a multiple lines of text, it will for the description or any other things, we need to go with multiple lines of text. But if it is up to less than characters, while creating a field, we need to go with a single line of text. Okay. Yeah, based on our data which we are inputting, we will understand like which data type of field we need to select. So accordingly, we need to create the field here. Okay. So it will allow both numbers as well as text. If it is a text field, so it will allow all the special characters, everything it will allow. And this is a single line of text. And the next field is about multiple lines of text. Okay, as it is having the limit of 4,000. If you want to input more data, let's suppose if you want to put a description of something. Okay, if you are creating a account like for specific company, we need to provide the complete description about the company. Okay, that is having some paragraphs of 3-4 paragraphs. So in that scenario, we cannot fit that data into single line of text. In that case, we need to go for multiple lines of text data type. Okay, so this will allow up to this many characters. 1,48,576 text characters it will allow. This is the maximum limit, but we can set the minimum limit also. Okay, if we don't want 4,000 characters to be entered by the user, if you want only 100 lines or 100 characters to be entered in the single line of text field, we should able to. We cannot say we cannot allow more than 4,000, but we can set the limit. Less than any of these value. Let's suppose if we want to set it to 100 only, we can set 100, so that while entering the data, the user should be able to enter only up to 100 characters, not more than that. This is the same case for multiple lines of text as well. Maximum length that will be allowed is like 1,48,576 characters. And the next data type is about option set. Option set means if we want the user to be selected the values within that range. Okay, we should not allow the values for suppose outside of the range. So we will create the values. Okay. Let's suppose if we take some kind of field from basic example like some traffic signal. Okay, only it will be allowed only 3 types, right? Red, green, and yellow. Okay. So the user should be select the value either of 3 values. So we will put the option set field. It will come as a drop down. They need to select from the values which are there in that particular range, either red, green, or yellow. Only they should able to select the specific value. That is the option set field. While option set field, it is having mm, it will having the option to add the different values under that option set. We can add any number of options under that option set, but while end user perspective, they should able to select the values within that range, not outside of that range. They cannot enter manually also. It's like just like a text field, they cannot type something in this field. They should able to select some value under the drop down. This is a multi-select option set. Okay, there are some scenarios where instead of selecting a single value, we may need to select multiple values. Okay, let's suppose while joining any of the company, they will all ask the preferred locations. Okay, so they will give all the locations, their office is there within India. So we should able to select the values, like the first preference is first one and second preference, like that we can select the multiple values. So within that option set, so that is completely the type of data type which we need to select. That is completely depend on the business requirement. Okay, we need to decide as a developer or as an architect. We need to decide like what kind of data types we need to set for particular data. So multi-option set, as I said you example, for that kind of scenarios, we need to go for the multi-select option set. So this field will allow to select multiple values while selecting when end user in inputting their data. And the next next type of data is like two options. It is like if we want to allow the between the any of the two values, like let's suppose yes or no, hot or cold, on or off. Like these are the different types of two options for which we need to allow user to be selected between the two values. So in that case, we have to go for two options data type. So in that maximum, there is a radio button or a checkbox kind of thing will come while we create this data type. User will see either radio button or a checkbox. So we can set any of the user display option. We can set that. The data type will be same, but for the end user, either if we can set radio button or the checkbox, that we can set that property. So accordingly, it will display the respective value. So status field. Okay, this is a kind of this status field. Status means for any record. Okay, if you see the relational database management system, what will be the structure? It will be a table. Okay, under the table there are different columns. After creating the data, it will be a kind of rows, right? Let's suppose if we create a one record, create table name, and then if we give the fields like serial number, first name, last name, like that, if we give the respective values, and if we created a record in the database, what will happen? One record will get created, right? So if we want to disable or enable any of the, let's suppose if there are multiple contacts and accounts there in the system, okay, so if particular contact is not anymore of a customer to this company, okay, at that time it's like we have to disable that particular contact, right? Instead of we want to keep that contact, we don't want to delete, because in future we may need to see what are all the different transactions performed by particular contact. Like that, we may have to keep that data, but it's like that contact should not be active anymore. Like by using that contact, it's like if he is active, even though he's not a customer, he can able to access the application, or he able to do the activities, right? So for that reason, once the particular user is out of the company, or if that record is valid anymore, there is a status option. Okay, so this we no need to create this field. As I told you before, for every record, there will be a status option. It will be there by default. We can use this either active or inactive. We can do. Okay, and no functionality to be required to be implemented for this status one. There will be a button will come in the screen. Okay, if we click on activate active, the inactive record will get activated. If you click on inactive, all the active record will get inactive. Okay, so this is the inbuilt feature available within the CRM, so that by we can make it active or inactive any record. Okay, so while making it active or inactive, we can set the value status reason. Okay, within while activating or inactivating, if we want to provide a like reason, okay, why we are making that particular record as inactive. Okay, let's suppose he is out of organization. Okay, or if the particular person don't want to continue the particular policy. Okay, let's suppose if the same person is having multiple schemes within the bank, like let's suppose he is using the savings account, he is using the credit card, and he is having some personal loan, like that he is having different options available. Okay, but it's like one of the service he's stopping. Okay, let's suppose he is closing his personal loan. Okay, and but he is using other things. We won't, in that case we won't disable the account or contact. We will go and disable only the particular personal loan thing. So while selecting, we will select the option like disable, but the option is like personal loan we are getting deactivating. The status reason we can set the value. Okay, so that in future, if you refer why that particular record is inactive, to understand that we'll see the reason. What is the reason based on which that particular record got inactivated? And the whole number, as I told you before, that it's a text and two options. But if you want to allow only the numbers, okay, you should not allow any of the text. So in that case, there is a data type called whole number. Okay, it will allow the minus values as well. So this is the limit from this range to this range. So we can allow the any values within this range. So again, this value can be customized if we want to allow only the positive values. Okay, and we can select the limit from 0 to maximum value, whatever we want. Let's suppose if you want to allow maximum by 1 lakh, 0 to 1 lakh, we will give the whole number, so that the end user, when he is accessing the application, it's like they should able to input maximum or minimum that particular range. And the next one is a floating point number. So as it is a whole number, we cannot input any of the decimal values after the number, but it will allow only whole number. But if we want to give any of the decimals, maximum decimals allowed is 5 decimal points. So here it is a floating point number. We can give the range from this one to this one. This we will call it. So this terminology we need to keep remember, because throughout the our implementation or throughout the training, we will keep talking about these data types. Okay, so we need to keep, because here the terminology is a bit different when compared to other database systems. Maybe in general database we'll call it as a string field. Okay, and maybe multiple lines of text and varchar, like that we will call it as. But here the terminology is bit different, so that it is good to like know about the terminology of CRM related things. Like at the end, the functionality is same, how it works in the other database management systems, but the thing is like the terminology, these Microsoft having specific terminology for the data types, like single line of text, multiple line of text, option set, multi-select option set, two options, status full number, and floating point number, and decimal number, and the currency. Let's suppose this within the Dynamics there is a data type for currency. Okay, if we want to enter specific like within the currency as well, we can select the what is the base currency we can select. Okay, it is like if the application is designed for only one country, okay, India, we can select only the currency type as INR. But if it is a multi geographical application, okay, in that case, it's like based on the region, we need to set the currency, right? It's like for the US, we need to set US dollar, and for the European region, we need to set euro, and for India, it should be INR. Like that, for based on the geographies, they should see the respective fields, right? The currency values while entering the inputs. From India, people will enter the data in Indian rupees, but from the US, the people will enter in US dollars. At the end, the conversions will happen, right? So the beauty of this currency field within the CRM is like we can set the exchange values. Okay, it's like, let's suppose if the exchange rate between US dollar and India is 65 rupees today. Okay, it's like for every organization they have a specific date or specific time in a month or in a week. They will update the exchange rates. Like it's not like if you see the currency exchange values for every minute, it will keep changing, like in at least in some precisions, if not in multiple rupees, at least in precisions the value keep changed. But every organization, they won't directly change that values accordingly. Okay, they will update their systems based on maybe on a daily basis or a weekly basis. Mostly I think people will follow based on their organization policies. Okay, it is not like specific to any organization. Some people may update on a daily basis, some people may update on a weekly basis. Like that, they will set the exchange rates within the application. So one thing is like whatever the value the end user enters, backend there will be two fields. One is the actual field and the base currency we can set. Okay, if we set the application base currency as a dollar, okay, whatever the end user enters, if I enters in the UI, it will show it in the respective currency, and in the backend, it will store in two fields. One is the actual field, and the another one is the base currency field. It will convert automatically. The system will take care of that. If we enter like some 130 rupees in the UI, okay, backend, it will store one value in the rupee field like 130, and in the dollar field it will show it as a $2. Like that, for from any currency based on the end user entered value, it will get converted and it will store in the base currency also. Okay, so these things will help us to check their total revenue and all. It's like they cannot check in each and every currency, right? Finally, generally, when they delivering their quarterly results or something, they will generally people will deliver the results in dollars generally. So in that case, they can directly refer the dollar fields and they can calculate. It's like they no need to do all the conversions while they are doing the calculations, right? So they can directly refer that particular base currency field of that particular organization, and then they can set it accordingly. So, and the next one is about date and time. So here within the date and time, there are two options we can give to user. We can allow to enter only the date, or if you want to allow the user to enter both date and time as well, we can give that option as well. Like while creating the field itself, we need to set the property accordingly. So either if it is a date field or a date time field. And again, it's a regional specific, it will automatically adjust. Okay, if I logged in India, today it is 8:35 a.m. Maybe from, if you take it from maybe from UK region, it may be kind of 4:35 or 4:05 a.m. It will be 4.5 hours difference. So it will be 4:05 a.m. If same record, if I the other region people logged in, and it will show according to their region. Okay, these are all the kind of features that will be taken care by the product itself. It's like if we, that is the basic difference. If we, every one of us to understand it is like if we build a custom application, .NET based or Java based application, The thing is like all these things we need to put a lot of implementation efforts to develop all these features. Let's suppose the currency feature, whatever I told you, to do that all the conversions and all, it's like we need to write a lot of lot of code or backend, lot of scripts, database scripts to do all the conversions. But here we no need to do all the things. The product itself will take care of all those things. Internally, it is having that capabilities. Okay, the product itself is very well capable, like because it's like a normal product, right? It will be designed by keeping in mind the all the businesses or enterprises. Okay, this is an enterprise application. It is not like a normal application. This product will be built based on by keeping enterprises in the mind. So all these things for it is required for any enterprise. So that is the reason, by keeping all the enterprises in mind, their features and all will be implemented in build. So that is the reason when we are designing or developing, we need to use the inbuilt features, because the product was built in such a way that it was kept all the things in mind and developed. Of course, yeah, for every organization, they have their specific functionalities. It may suit up to 50-60%, maybe remaining up to 30-40% we may have to customize. But it's like the maximum customization that Microsoft is supporting is by maximum support is like they will say like we need to use less than 10% of customization. Only we need to write up to 10% of code only. Other things we need to use inbuilt features. That's what Microsoft will suggest in terms of performance perspective, and in case of upgrade also. It's like if we keep writing more code, just like when we are upgrading, it's like we may not support the older versions, right? It's like if we have built it on a .NET or JavaScript, the script will get old, right? The kind of code which we have written now after 5-10 years, we may get the advanced coding, and the old namespaces or old kind of code that may not support anymore. At that time, we have to upgrade. All the code we need to modify so that the upgraded version will support the latest code. So that is the reason we need to use the inbuilt features. So for that, we need to understand all the inbuilt capabilities, within the data types, from the data types onwards. So we need to understand all the basic capabilities. So this is the date time, and the next one is image field. Image field, like if we want to upload any of the image, so company logo, like that, if we want to upload, we can select the data type called image, and then we can enter the respective image as well. We can browse and upload the image. And the lookup, it's like this lookup in the sense, as I told you before, in the relational database management system, we have the one-to-one relationship, end-to-one relationship. Let's suppose if we take a contact, okay, in that we want to link it to the account company. Okay, particular person, we want to link it to the company. If we take some ex-employee, we belong to some XYZ company. Okay, while entering that particular contact information, we need to select the company, right? For that, we need to maintain all the company data within the master table. Okay, where we'll create a master table for, like, there will be one inbuilt entity we can use, that account. There we will maintain all the company data, all the companies which are customer to particular bank. We'll maintain in that account, and then while creating a contact, we'll select the which company this particular contact belongs. Okay, so for that, all the master data will be available in another table. But in the child table, when we are creating a record, we'll select the parent record value, what company he belongs to. That we call it as a lookup data type. Okay, when we are creating a relationship, one-to-one relationship or end-to-one relationship, these lookups will be created automatically. And the owner, this is a kind of, again, as I told you before, this stat, like just like a status field, we have a field called owner field as well. It's like the basic usage of this owner field is like, let's suppose if I logged in and I created a record, like how we will know, like I have created a record. Okay, it's like I will set as a owner. If I created a record, I as the owner, I have the complete privilege. This is mainly for the security purpose. Okay, if there are 100 users are there, only user who has created the record should have the full privilege either to modify or to delete or everything. Only the created user should have the privilege. The other users only they should able to either read or something, but they should not able to do any other actions. In that case, the owner field will help. Like so, when I created a record, by default, my name will set as a owner to that particular record, and mm, yeah, again, this ownership can be changed. Like even though I have created, it's not like I have to keep myself as owner all the time. Let's suppose if I am moving to another department or if I'm moving to the or any other organization, I can assign that record to another person. So at that time, the ownership will change. So I'll show it to you in the system like how this assignment should be happen. Okay, it's like again. If we want other person to read that record, like we can share this record, so that it's like there is a share option for the particular record. When user clicks on the share, like the record will get shared to that particular person, so that he can based on the privilege we have provided, either the read or write privilege, they can do the respective action. If we give the share privilege only for the reading, only it's like they can able to read the data, not the updation of the data. And unique identifier. Unique identifier is like only for every record there is a primary key value, right? So we need to identify in a unique way. For that, there is a unique value get created. This is a 32-digit value which is get created for every record. It's like with this we no need to do anything. When this will be taken care by the system itself. Whenever we create a record, it will create a 32-digit unique identifier for particular record. So in future, if we want to reference that record, we need to use that 32-digit ID, so that we can refer that particular record. This is unique for each and every record. And the final data type is customer data type. As I explained you yesterday, it's like customer also one kind of data type. It's like within the customer there are two types, right? It's like either it can be a single person, or either it can be a company. Okay, that we here, that's what it is mentioned here. A lookup field that can be used to specify a customer. Okay, it's like this is a kind of lookup field, because within the customer it can be a contact or customer, but contact or company, which can be account or contact. Customer means either it can be an account or contact. So any of these, either one person or the company, in both these scenarios in CRM, we'll call it as a customer. But while creating a customer, we can have the like sub options, like either it is a account or the contact. So these are the kind of basic data types within the CRM. So if you want to create any data, we need to use any of these data types, and we need to create the data within the CRM application. So this is how it will look like. The data type, while creating the data from UI, it will show the options like this. Okay, data type, there will be a drop down. From that we can select the data type, like single line of text, multiple line of text, single option set, multi option set. Okay, and within the, if it is an option set data type, we can give the multiple values as well within the option set. As I told you before, red, amber or green, like that we can give the sub values as well. Everything is like a very user friendly. It's like if you go to that particular place and try to create or try to do something, it will be like we can able to understand this. So but only thing is like we need to be able to understand the importance of each and everything. Let's suppose if we while creating a field, here it is showing as data type, field type, use existing option set. So all these things we need to understand. Okay, what we can do with the edit and what we can do with new, all these things, if you understand and do the things from the initial days itself, so that it will be easy for us, so that we can have a complete understanding about the product, so that we can implement in a very expert manner. Yeah, as I told you before, along with the time zone and mm, currencies, there is a language field as well. Okay, it's like Microsoft Dynamics will support multiple languages. Okay, yeah, so it's not like throughout the world everyone has to use the English and this application is in English. It's not like that. It can be, we can set the multi languages as well within the CRM. Okay, it's like if I open from some other specific regions, from China or Japan or something, it's like they can, they should, if they want to see the application in their local languages, yeah, yeah, we have the provision to set it, so that it's not like we have to do some coding on something. It's like its product is having that capability to display multiple languages according to their region. Okay, and based on the logged in user configurations, if I set my preferred language as Japanese or something, when I logged in all the data with all the things, I see it in Japanese language. Okay, and if I want to set it in English, I think we can see only in English. There are specific set of languages which product will support. In any of those languages, so we can set those languages for the users specific. Okay, user settings will be there. In the user settings, we can set the language. So as I told you before, if you create any of the images, this is how the CRM screen will look like. Okay, if you create any, if given is that one example for the image data type, it's like when we are creating an image, it's like let's suppose if we take a lead, we are creating multiple leads. If we want to upload their image as well, so in that case, we can browse the image and then we can upload it here. Within the data types as well, there will be definitely some limits will be there. Maximum size it will be allowed is 520 KB, and the formats that will support is like JPG, JPEG, GIF, and all these formats we only will support. So while selecting the image, only these things will support in that particular image data type. This is about the data types. Anyone having any queries with respect to the data types within the CRM?
No, sir. Fine.
Okay, I hope it is clear. So if we definitely when we start seeing the system, we can understand in a much better way. Okay. So once we created the basic fields for any entities, it's like we have to create the relationships between the entities while creating the database, right? The schema when we are creating, it's like as I told you before, these are the different data types. Okay, one is to one relationship. Um, primary entity can be associated to many related entity records. Because of that, look up on the related entity. We need to select this is a one-to-one relationship, and there are some scenarios where we need to create multiple types with multi end-to-end relationship. So here in this case, we have to, while creating the relationship between the entities, so we have to select the end-to-end relationship, and yeah, the other type of relationship is the end-to-one. If multiple records has to be linked with a single record, we need to go with the end-to-one relationship. So in that case, we have the primary key and foreign key for each table. Anyway, the primary key is like the GUID, as I said, there is a 32 digit will get created. Okay, that will be used as a primary key. And once we link it to other entity, the foreign key field will be there. So we can refer that foreign key field, and then we can do the querying from the database or something. We see what are the dynamics marketing module capabilities. So yeah, if we want to work on the any of the functionalities, it's like we should have some basic understanding how the marketing works in the real time. Okay? So most of the everyone will have the basic understanding, right? How these marketing terminologies and all, because it's like in a day-to-day our life, like for any company, how they do the marketing. Because many marketing people and all. They used to interact with us to sell their product, also to sell their services. Okay, so like within the CRM itself, it's like as I said before, if we see it in a real time projects, it's like that within that for especially for this dynamics customer engagement or CRM modules, there won't be any dedicated people for kind of um, for the functional experts or something. It's like most of the scenarios, I can say 90 to 95% of the time only the technical people will handle the functional parts as well. It's like only it's a kind of people will act like both the techno functional, and they will interact with the customers and get the requirements, and then they will do the implementation. It's like even if it is a functional also means there will be only kind of business analyst. Okay, they will get the requirements. It's like and at the end the designing and solutioning will be developed done by the technical people only. They will up to the business analyst duty is up to the capturing the requirements, their business requirements, but fitting into the product those requirements into functional way, that is again the developer's responsibility to fit those requirements within the CRM in a functional perspective. Okay, In very few scenarios, like those who are having very good understanding about the product of the business analysts and all, if they are very much like, let's suppose there are some people who are very good experienced within the dynamics, and so they stop coding and they are mainly working with the customers. In that case, definitely while capturing the requirements itself, they will link with the CRM, and then they will do basic designing with respect to the how which requirement can be fit to the which functionality, like that they will do in that way. Otherwise, it's like the developers will be taking care of majorly all the functional, technical, and admin things as well. So within the marketing, so that is the reason it is very much important for us to understand the functional terminologies as well, functionality of the each module of customer engagement. It is very much important for us to understand. It's like the basic functionalities. It's like whatever the functionalities which is given in within the dynamic CRM, we should be able to understand. Of course, based on the every organization, the functionality will differ. At that time, we need to understand the respective project functionality. But in specific, as the CRM is having their inbuilt functionality, we need to understand that. So to do the development. So as I told you before, we can send an emails, right? Campaigns. So graphical image message. Okay, we can create some graphical image and online content to support marketing initiatives. Okay, we can create some email templates, and then we can use for marketing campaigns. Okay, here customizable templates for emails and landing page amplify your digital voice. So nowadays all the marketing is happening through digital channels, right? More than the physical channels, it is happening through digital channels. Uh, so here the landing page, in the sense, it supports all the layer, like up to date or latest marketing strategies or terminologies which everyone is using. Okay, one is about emails and another one is landing page, in the sense, if we go to any website, let's suppose if we go to some website, and from that website it will show some other company advertisement. Let's suppose if you log into some website, and in that let's suppose if you go to some Book My Show to book your movie ticket, there it will show some link to some Make My Trip to book some flight tickets, or to book some travel trips, and all it will show. Okay, it's like how it will work. So it is like they can design their company company logo or company related some advertisement, and then they can put it in the other websites. Okay, so that upon clicking on that, it will get routed into these people's website, or from there itself, let's suppose if they have ask for basic, if you are interested in particular service, okay, they can enter their basic details from that page itself without navigating to this website, and say this submit, the data will come and store in this particular CRM. And then again, the marketing people or some contact center people will connect with them to understand their interest and what they are expecting, and they can proceed it further. Okay, so there are different marketing techniques which are available. All those techniques will be supported by this Dynamics itself. We'll understand in detail like what are those techniques and all. It is like we can create a email templates and landing page. We can create and put it in the other websites. Okay. So all these things without writing any of the code itself we can do. It's like intuitive drag and drop. Within the drag and drop features itself, we should be able to design the form. If we want to create one registration form, okay, we can simply drag and drop like what fields they need to enter, like name, email address, phone number, and the address. Like if you want to put 4 things, like we can simply drag and drop, and we can put, and we can click on create. So it will create a registration page. It will be in a very few clicks without having any developer knowledge as well. They can do the few things. Okay. Okay. And again, they will be having capabilities like lead scoring. Okay. How much possibility for a lead to get the business? Okay, if we have captured the lead, okay, based on the interaction with that particular person, the marketing guy can understand, right? Initially it's like there might be some people will show much interest, so they will set the score as a 5 out of 10. Okay, or some people will show very less interest. There is very less chances we'll get a business from that particular lead. We'll set as a score as 1. So it's like those leads which are having higher score, there is a more possibility that they can get the business from that particular lead, right? So they can focus more on that. So like that, it is having all the inbuilt fields or capabilities within the Dynamics marketing application. We'll understand all those capabilities. We can understand it by seeing those screens and all. And yeah, and again, design interactive customer journey to nurture lead with personalized experience. It is like as we created initially the lead, upon multiple interactions with that particular person, we can nurture that lead, right? The lead nurturing process will happen in any marketing process. Okay, so like for any person, they won't directly do the business or directly take some product or service within the first time itself. Like these persons will keep calling multiple times, and if required they will arrange some personal meetings with that persons, and they may send some brochures. Like that, they may arrange multiple sessions with that particular person. Within that, each process that is called as lead nurturing. So now out of that 30 leads, so finally 5 leads are getting created. Let's suppose. So all this process we'll call it as like sending an emails and setting up some personal meetings, and doing the phone calls and doing some chat over the application. Like that, all those things we'll call it as lead nurturing process. What is the lead nurturing process that is followed, and what like during this process they may capture multiple data inputs from the customers, and they will enter all those things here so that it will be everything can be tracked here, like when this particular person has called the lead, and when he has sent an email, and what is the response that is received from the customer. All those things, everything will be captured in CRM, so that it will be very transparent, like what are the conversations that are happened. If like suppose if that we call this person, and he said like he's busy at this time, he asked to call at weekend on Saturday or Sunday at specific time. How we will remember those things? Definitely we will not remember, right? Because they will handle with multiple customers, hundreds or thousands of customers. So they cannot remember each and every customer preferences, and they cannot do that. So that is the reason they can do they can set some value like follow up on specific time while calling the particular customer itself. Within the CRM they have the provision. Okay, so what is the next time the person is expecting to do a call further? For that, they need to create some follow-up call. So that what will happen is like it will automatically create a one phone call record in the CRM with a particular time. So that what will happen is like when the next time every day when I log in my queue, it will show, oh, hey, for today you need to call to this many persons, and these are the timelines. If I log in the morning by 10 o'clock in the morning, from today, from morning to evening, I have to do the following phone calls today, and I have to do following. I need to send the so and so emails. I need to interact with the so and I need to set up so and so meetings today. So all those things, whenever every person logins, they can see in their dashboards. They can design in such a way that so that what are the different activities that marketing guy has to do, and based on the login itself, we can go and show that. So it will be easy for that person to handle their activities. It will improve their productivity, right? Of course, instead of like keeping in reminders in their phones or writing in some diary, all those things, instead of doing that, within the CRM itself is will show all the details to that particular person. So that will be helpful for that. So, and nowadays every company or persons having the LinkedIn profiles. Okay, they can link with their LinkedIn profiles as well, so that they can understand about that particular person. And they have the share features. It's like as I told you, when creating the records, they can share and assign the records to other persons. So it's like within the CRM, they have lead to understand the lead better. It's like initially they captured only basic details from person, like only phone number and email address. And if they want to capture more details, like what are their preferences, and what kind of things exactly they are expecting, and what is their budget. All those things they cannot ask in a initial first meeting itself. It's like because they won't spend that much time in the initial meeting itself. So later on time they can capture all these things so that we call it as 360-degree view of the customer, so that accordingly they can sell the respective product to the particular customer, and they can explain more products related to their interest. So this product will have the capability to capture all the data of the particular lead during the nurturing process, so that will help to the customer, help to the marketing guy, or for customer to help in a better way. So even they can do the events organization within the CRM. They using the CRM itself, like they can set webinars, and all those things they can handle within the CRM itself. So based on the marketing, how much return of investment? Like for they have conducted a marketing campaign. Okay, so for that they spent some 10,000 rupees. Okay, out of that, how much revenue they have generated? Okay, so return of investment based on the spending they are doing for the marketing. So how much business they are getting? All those things can be captured. Okay. And even they have the capability for prioritizing the leads, and to get the more wins. Okay, so it is having some inbuilt capabilities to prioritize the few leads. Okay, instead of giving the same importance to all leads, it is like we can prioritize some leads based on different parameters. Okay, so and then we can give more priority to them, so that there is having possibility to get the more business. And if required customer satisfaction, they can send some surveys. Okay, initially they have interacted, and finally they took a product or something, and they can take some quick survey, like how is their overall experience, how they feel, all those things. They can get the feedback. Okay, for that they can quickly send the surveys. Okay, they can quickly fill, and then they can send it. It won't take less than 15-20 seconds. So they can send the survey. It's not like again we don't need to do anything. It's like we can create a quick survey from the CRM using the user interface, and then we can send the survey to specific people. So it will automatically send through email. So they can open that link, and then from their mobile or from the laptop, they can fill the details and submit. Okay, so again it will come back to CRM, and then it can be tracked. So again, yeah, even though using all these features, if still their business requirements are not satisfied, you can further configure and expand the application. Okay, that is using our coding part, we can expand the application. These are the kind of basic marketing capabilities. So similarly for other modules, they have some specific capabilities will be there for each module. I think this is about the marketing module. We can continue the topics in the tomorrow's session. If you have any specific questions based on the topics which we discussed today, we can discuss those things. Anyone having any questions?
Yeah, as of now, no, sir.
Okay.
It's new topic, right? So when we directly work on it, then we'll understand things well.
Yeah, sure. So that is the reason you just go and create a trial version for yourself. Okay, so that it will be helpful for you to start working on.
Sure. You mean to say like from today itself we have to create, or like we can wait for some time? Or...
No. You can create. That is having validity for 30 days, right? Maybe today you can go and create it, so that that trial version you can start practicing. I told you the data types, right? You can go and create the data field, different data type fields, so that you will understand like how to create data types, and how to enter the data. All those things you can understand in a hands-on.
Sure, got it. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And if you don't have any other further questions,
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Thank you.
yeah, good day.